Hello, in this video we're going to go over how to register for the ACT and how to be best prepared on test day for the exam. First and foremost, registration is done online. If you click on that link here, it will take you to a website here. You can look up ACT registration, and it's pretty standard stuff for a national standardized exam. You create a password and a login name, and then the student will be asked to upload his or her photo for identification purposes to create onto a submission form that would look similar to this. And this is going to be kind of like something that looks similar to what their ticket will be, and they need this in hand along with a student ID or a particular form of ID, which is then shown on the test day checklist. And that is this bottom link here of the registration/test day section of the Essentials PDF. But you can also look up ACT checklist on Google and this will come on up. And what I really want to go over is the overall checklist, but first starting off with acceptable forms of ID. It has to be an original, current, valid ID issued by the city, state, or federal government or your school. It has to be in hard plastic card format. Paper or electronic formats are not accepted. And there should be an image on it. So one thing that they noticed is that some students would come in with a state ID, but there's no picture from it. I've never seen that myself from like California or Florida or any state where they issues ID. I feel like they always have a photo on it, but if that is the case, they don't accept that. And they don't accept birth certificates, hunting licenses, credit cards, or bank cards. And those are the main things that I feel like students would want to bring in. There's a whole other list of unacceptable IDs that I don't want to waste your time reading through. You can look through yourself at your own pace and discover whether or not you have an ID that's on that list so that you can adjust for test day. They want you to bring your ticket, that ID that we mentioned. Number 2, pencils. They should have a plural at the end of that for the sheer sake that if something goes wrong with one of your pencils. Do bring a watch because the proctors aren't necessarily promising to tell you how much time you have left, and you should be used to your own watch instead of wherever the clock may be. It could be behind you, to the side, or not even in a classroom. Make sure you practice with whatever calculator that is on the list that we discussed in the last video. Make sure it's approved and you practice with it from day one. That way you're as familiar with that calculator and finding your answers on it as possible. And then snacks and a hoodie, or a sweater. Those are comfort items that you definitely want. You definitely want food because they don't provide snacks. Hopefully they have water fountains nearby when you do have breaks in between some of the sections, but they don't provide food on test day. And in the next video, we'll go over timing of the exam and how to best prepare your pacing for the ACT. Best of luck.